Hello and welcome, my friends. Hambbage here. Glad you are too. Aw, man. I don't know why you would ever say that, because you know what? We get to play hardcore vanilla Minecraft today, and any day you get the chance to do that, it's a pretty good day. I would also include any day you get to go outside and walk around, enjoy the weather, no matter what it's doing. Rain, some sunshine, a little breezy. A little breezy. I don't like super windy. But yeah, all those are pretty good. So let's get going. We're gonna go back to the same little strip that we did our Saturday evening special in RL last night for me, and pick up where we left off. We've got some a little bit more progress to be made. I think where we finished up, and I'm not sure at that point if we're going to make more torches or just make a supply run and drop off before we get too overburdened with blocks and stuff. Um, if it's a natural breaking point, then we may do that because I kind of prefer to keep those on the quick side of things. Um, I think this is the next. It's definitely a bit higher than we'd been going, but I think in this case it will. I don't know why that wanted to put two torches there. Didn't really want that. So, apologies in advance for the rest of the day, guys. Um, Talked a lot about spooky, scary movies and all that kind of stuff in our evening fun last night. We were talking about October and spooky, scary movies and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I went back to the well and I ended up binging the entire Midnight Mass um, last night, and I don't know, it was great. Strong recommend on my part for that one, but I'm not sure, and so often that's the case. I'm not sure it ended exactly the way I would have either cared for or welcomed. And in a movie that deals with religious type elements and a lot of philosophy and stuff like that, it's easy to see why that would be the case, right? If it just echoed everything that you thought about anything in the world, um, you might feel pretty good about it at the end, but it wouldn't challenge your thinking or anything. So yeah, I hugely enjoyed it. I think personally, and I doubt it will get much love for it, but if I was a person who had a say or a voice in any of that kind of stuff, I would 100% um, say that these guys deserve some kind, or Mike Flanagan, I think was his name. It seemed like maybe it was a brother or something. There's another Flanagan in a lot of the credits too. Huh. Um, but whatever the case, I thought it was so well written. I don't know what I'm doing here, by the way. it's got a lot of religious elements, and I think that's where getting the ending that would please everybody is really tough. Um, but from my understanding of the Christianity side of things, I think it was so well either known or written. Either it shows that these guys had an incredible background already to draw from, or was really well researched and done. And whatever the case may be, I thought on that end it was just really, really, really well done. Even if I didn't agree with or like how every piece of it was done, I really, really thought that bit was good. And at the end, I thought that kind of how they wrapped things up. Um, I don't know, the last bit of the story was a bit universalist. It was kind of the. I don't think it was intended. I think it was consciously done and independent of our kind of hyper um, hyper inclusive style, I guess, these days. I don't know. I think they had a reason for doing what they did, and I liked it, and I like that message. Um, but I have a feeling it's gonna hurt a little bit on the general acceptance of the movie because people get very possessive of beliefs. It's why a lot of people say, never talk about politics or religion at work because you got to work with your coworkers, right? So, um, very rarely are you going to have a conversation that changes somebody else's most closely held beliefs, and there's a lot of that in this series. And when I said I like spooky and movies that engage your mind and all that on a I almost want to say metaphysical more than spiritual, but it was definitely spiritual. That was a huge part of the whole story. Midnight Mask, duh. I don't think I'm spoiling anything there, but um, they they did such a good job of, in my mind, portraying a lot of a little bit deeper um, than normal, a little deeper than needed biblical knowledge for Christians. And I'm guessing a name like Flanagan. There's some Irish roots back there, and the fact that it's written with a Catholic church. First, there's so much um, liturgy and tradition there to work with as material. Um, but I don't know. I would have just minorly tweaked the last episode more than anything else. Like I'd said, I think when I last recorded a few hours ago, I was up through episode 3, and between that and up through that and episode 6 or so, there are some just incredible moments turns you aren't, you maybe are expecting. I expected a lot of the stuff for me, and I don't know how many people. Um, a lot of it was kind of like, okay, I can see where that's going. I can see where that's going. And the twists at the end didn't come at me too much, and I think that's where, depending on your familiarity with the Bible, you may also not be too caught off guard by some of the elements of the story. They're just all out there to be known, but it's so worth it anyway. I thought, again, I liked it. Liked some of the characters. There's a particularly dislikable character throughout. Personality is just such that you're like, oh, yeah, we're clearly not meant to like this person. And um, whether there's redemption there or not, because there is for a lot of the folks, I'll leave for you guys to find out. And being that there's spiritual type matters going on, redemption is a huge part of that. Um, so yeah, not not overly terrifying, and while it builds to um, kind of typical horror movie type imagery and scenes and stuff like that, especially as it goes forward. They're there throughout. You're not, at one point you're not watching Disney Channel, and then the next you're, oh, what happened? It's pretty universal, but as I said, it's a slow, well reasoned and written build to a conclusion, and that makes you care more about all these characters. And by having set it on a little island, it's kind of, I think back to Agatha Christie's 10 Little Indian Boys. Um, they that was the way she could do it. That was kind of murder mystery, but it was somewhat in that haunted house mentality of horror where you're stuck, right? And all these people are on the island, can't get away, and they find out at that point that there's a murderer in the house on the island with them. Same deal here, but in that sense, um, she could limit hers to a dozen people, right? That was the whole countdown thing in her book. In this, it's a bigger community. I think they, at one point at the beginning, and I don't know how accurate it was supposed to be based on some of the later writing and dialogue, but they described it as a town of 127 on one point, but then also that it had been in more decline. You never see that many people on screen at the same time, but they have some bigger shots for sure. And there are people that come back at the end that you don't know as well, but you get to know you get to know a very lot about the kind of major characters. You get to know less about the minor characters, but you still know some, right? It's not just um, giggling um, cheerleader loses sweater and gets beheaded, right? It's okay. These are people. They fit into this community. They have interrelationships with one another. Some may be friends. Some may have older issues that go back between themselves and are still unresolved. All that kind of stuff. When you do get to a big climactic end, it's like, oh wow, now that that person was forced to do this and that person didn't make it right in front of them, that kind of stuff. There's a lot more there, and it gets a much better reaction. So yeah, I had really thought when I recorded with you guys that I was good for the night. I'd watched and all that, but like I said, I'd been out in the sun and kind of spent from that, and I had been a bit dehydrated, so I drank a bunch of iced tea before I recorded, and that had me up and ready to go at the end. So yeah, and it was a late night, and that's why I started off this episode with a bit of an apology. We'll see. I've got coffee here now. I'm kind of getting a little bit later start. I knew that was happening, and it's Sunday, so I didn't feel too bad about having a bit of a lie-in. Um, this is the part that I really wanted to get knocked down, is this last little wall between where our chest was set up and um, the farm here. And I think when we wrap this up, we will go back because we'd like to uh, get a repair on these two picks, this one and the one that we've already swapped. And also move the shulker, so we don't have to do like every single shulker when we get back. That won't be a huge deal. But maybe what we'll do is turn that into a visit. I said 2A. Hang on a second. Um, Visit to the Amethyst Geode Farms. Get some more shards. Get the tinting. A resupply. We've got one more down this hallway, which is kind of why I'm continuing in this direction. Um, at least. But independent of that, I think maybe we'll do some exploring. And I don't know the order yet. We may, before we go back, right? That's why we have the shulkers. We may just load them up with all this stuff that we've cut out here, and then do our exploring now, rather than running all the way back. That's why we have extra tools, all that. We'll see. We'll see how the coffee hits. If I feel like I need another little slow-paced, relaxed one. But we will get the string, whatever string we've gathered out of here, when we're done with that. A couple more there on the edge. And this is a big part of why we're here, is to get these blocks. I suspect we'll probably fill up. Oh, not yet. There were some more. I think we'd started up here. Let's check this edge. Oh, oh. This is not the drop off I thought. Oh, there's one. Oh, there's some. Are those? Nope, not even a couple up. Well, good. Now, yeah, let's check this. See how we did. 60. Pretty good stuff. I think we'll just run. Did we get? No, we still got a little bit of stone there. We'll make a double run because I want to go get more string before we stop chat with Franny for the morning. But while I'm running this leg, I'm going to sip some coffee. Oops. Oh, some of that trickled at the side of my throat. Okay. I think we're all put back together now. So again, we'd pulled out our diorite. We'll maybe keep that up. I think this one is pretty well filled up. Does this one have? There's like gravel. I don't know that we have any of that. Put some of that away. Again, this is why I'd kind of like to keep this moving quickly. So we already have a pretty good load. Might as well leave that out. These will drop off. See you, Franny. Our chances of finding another zombie villager may be tough. But with the spawner, we may not even farm up the zombie spawner. We may just keep it a room, and if we see a zombie villager pop, light everything back up again. Kind of selectively get rid of the others, and just like Franny, bring one back to be recovered again. So yeah, this is the part I really wanted to get out, so that all the way up to here, this is all connected and through. We've got back-to-back farms. Now, I don't think we're going to have much over here, but don't you like how we don't have to jump off? Would like to take these down as well, but let's get back to trying here. These were a bit lower. There's all that. Let's go ahead and get this done as well. Eventually, these can keep moving back because we're getting paid in string for our work and materials. But I don't like the little seam part of it. Yeah, this one's pretty great that we don't even hear those spiders because they can't climb up. See them down there barely. Good place for the Enderman. So I was saying about the music, though. Oh my goodness. Um, for me, it helped that kind of the opening music when they're first getting started and setting things up. I believe the first one was Neil Diamond's Suleiman, um, which I've always dug. I'm I'm not quite that old. I'm a little behind the generation of Neil Diamond when he was big. You know, I saw him in concert at one point when he was a lot older, but um, just some great stuff there. Uh, and Suleiman, I think, is one of the most underrated. You know, everybody coming to America and uh, the Sweet Caroline and all that. Like, you know, some of those everybody knows, and it's like, all right, kind of beat to death. They're still good, but uh, a little victim of overplay, I think. But uh, Suleiman is kind of one of those that just lives on the outside, and I thought really well fitting and chosen for the content of the show. And then throughout it all, they've got all this amazing like hymn music. The cast themselves, you know, because significant proportion of this island are Catholics, right? That's what makes the midnight mass part of it work, right? Ooh, loud plane. Don't know if you guys are getting that. Sorry. Hey, one second. Woo! Coughing and a loud plane. We hold nothing back for you guys. So yeah, it was cool to hear these old. Not even all of them are old, although I think a lot are, and that's one thing where I wasn't raised Catholic, but I almost nostalgically I'm a lot bigger fan of the traditional hymns and church music, all that kind of stuff, than I am of the like call it contemporary. I think that's the right deal for like I don't know stuff that I hear at church a lot now, where they have a little bouncing ball. They don't even give you hymnals that have actual sheet music in them. It's just mumble along the words. We don't care. It's all so poppy and singing along to the radio kind of stuff that it doesn't matter. Where hey, I was never good. I probably made people cringe, and I won't pain you guys by singing aloud. But um, ooh, it sounds very jet-like. I think the Broncos are playing in Denver today, so there may be a little bit of military flight activity getting ready for a flyover. Be my guess. But they're circling quite a bit. So I kind of hope you guys hear a little bit of it to know what I'm talking about, but I also hope it doesn't completely ruin this. Um, so yeah, I really liked the writing and the music. I thought of that were absolutely well done, as were some effects. Okay, it wasn't a super effects intense movie, and I'm fine with that. Um, and the some of the stuff that they, it, like pulled out for some overhead shots and some of that, and it almost felt it was just the stylism of the camera, I think, but it kind of felt like you were looking down at like a train layout. I don't think you were, but just the feel of the cameras that they had on the drones or whatever didn't feel the same. So I don't know. And then whatever the bits that they did with CGI and all that, I take it or leave it. It helped convey the story completely. So no fault or hard feelings there, right? But I'm not one who completely goes after that. Kind of depends. I'm actually a bigger fan of the effects and stuff like that, even though they may seem cheesy and corny in some of like the superhero movies and things like that, where I am just like, I don't want to be all that mentally engaged. I'm just here to see things go boom and, people jump around and stuff blow up, all that. So in this one, I didn't even really pay too much attention to it. I was too caught up in the characters and the story and how they were going to do this and that. And like I said, while I was pretty comfortable with my understanding of what was going on, I'd be curious to know down the road or see the reactions, how other people felt. Did it seem disconnected or tough to follow? I think for some folks it may. Be interesting to hear that down the road. Oh, more. Go spiders go. It's rare we get to just pause and watch them all go down the hole. Or hear a little infinite loop of 4 minecarts. Is it the air show going on? What? I guess I did. I'm like feeling like this is way too early, but I guess I did sleep in today. That's part of the reason. Normally this would be about kind of like 8 a.m. type time, but it's 10. So all right. Picks. Again, we have nothing in this one. Thought we were over here a few times. Maybe that would help out. But these guys should have been plenty active. 38. Alright. So that, I like that. I like that it opens up directly through. And again, this is the one that we are going to be doing eventually is straight back this way. But I do think we should do a bit more exploring down at this far end. We've done some, but not all back that way either, I think. And there's going to be little pockets that we keep discovering around as we kind of go throughout this area. So see how all that plays out. Alright, strings it is, Franny. Don't get as much bang for your buck as you do for 3 melons, right? But not too bad. Alright, what do we have back here? I think eventually we're going to be very set on rails too, but let's leave some here. Stash whatever ore we have. Got a lot of coal out of that. So not a huge ore trip on this. And you know, honestly, we don't need to do that much. So I think, okay, let's definitely get those two. All right, everything else here I think is empty. Stupid nether bricks. That can go away. We need these. Let's check the time. 37, so this should be good. Maybe we can get all this done. At least the inventory bit here in this first one. I like that that basalt kind of actually almost matches this. Looks like a little box too. Pick these up while we're here. I almost did it again. Run. And of course, that time it would have been fine. You made me break my torch. That is really working to load up the world here. Alright. Let's see if we can do this. Not hurriedly, but efficiently. Some dirt out of the way that will help free up spaces. And go put this green box of netherrack away. How I end up... Wait, is it bricks? It is bricks. We have brick thing here. Yeah, it'll be good to not have the unpleasant surprise of, no, that box is full. Alright, so that one's good. Dump it off. Then let's do these two. I think we'll start over here. Actually, just the things we want to take out down here. That. I think all the rail stuff was upstairs. Spider eyes, mushroom, iron can go down here. Everything else upstairs, right? Yeah, okay. So we have slimes, we have iron, we have bones, we have eyes, we have a little bit of gunpowder, we have a bunch of zombie flesh, two things for over here in the brewables. To 6 tiers, that's 1 respawn and a bit of change. Could make regen potions. Oh, that's the other thing we absolutely have to do over here. We have to load up on steaks. So we're way low. Alright, now we should go pretty quickly. Then we'll just take the remaining stuff upstairs. Go really quick when it's all stone. One more there. Grab out the stuff that's not stone. Is that a big section of andesite there? Alright, well that's good. Don't stare at them too long, just focus on getting the most out that we can. Granite and granite. Do those, all the rest gets to be dirt. A little gravel. A little cobble. Alright, empty, empty, not empty. Stone. Was full. Oh, this one isn't though. That's nice. Alright, one more stone, and then I think there was some deep slate, a little gravel, and these two are empty. A little gravel. A little deep slate. And this was just stone, right? And I think we had... Where's that part? Alright, there's our loads and loads and loads of stone to go. We don't have to do too much there. So let's just get upstairs now. Wow. Still had some of that, I don't have a lot of like breads and things like that, but I got some naan, little pieces of it, toasted that up. Awesome. But got a little crumb of it, I think. So I kept trying to drink coffee. Alright, now here. I really just just did that. Like, oh, let's go upstairs with all that stuff. Disenchant that. The iron pick I may hang on to, actually. I don't know what exactly I would use it for, but it's unblemished, right? So maybe worth it at some point. Um, can't get rid of the curse of binding, so that'll go. Let's go over to this rails box. A few more of those. We could end up going through a lot of minecarts now if they're all. We end up using multiples on each farm. Seeds. Some of this kind of stuff we will go back to cleaning up. I'm going to drop that. We don't need just a random 4-piece cook. The book goes upstairs. The shovel we can disenchant. That can go down. Stop to make sure we have a full set of gold. We do. Let's go put this book away. Ah, beautiful. Get those two back up. Oh, I shouldn't have ever. Well, I don't know. Do we want to use the ores for XP? I don't think we're going to get a ton of them. It is our quickest stuff, right? That's good. Ah. Always one. Oh, and the binding book. We don't need that. To fire with you. Alright. So if we do that. Oh, we were going to get rid of the shovel too. Tools. Fortune. Get rid of that. We might as well pull this one out. Try to go over here so we don't pick those back up. Alright. Start with the ones that do absolutely no good for us in terms of repair, but we'll get our furnaces flowing. This should be just over a single stretch, I think. Yeah, no repair out of this. If we need to, I think maybe we'll go to the end and clear Enderman there. And we may have accidentally slept out on the plain that last time. I don't remember, honestly, what the event of our last sleeping was. But if we do get sent to spawn, we've now got the portal there, and so we can just come on back through our nether pathway, not have to worry about it too much. Honestly, at that point, we wouldn't even need to come back. We can just go from there straight back out to the mines. Lots of iron. If we decide we want to do up a giant smelter or something, we've got that option. I don't know, what do you guys like to use your iron into? Everybody's like, oh, I can iron farm to start things up. Is that just for trading? Is it for smelting? Where's the hoppers, I guess, for all the various machines? Alright, so let's start with some of these, the partials. And we'll do the same with the copper here. And then we'll have the iron to finish up or leave cooking when we wrap up with the coal and all that. Okay, we got a lot of copper. Did I have a little bit more? So let's do 2 of those. Drop those. As soon as this partial one gets done, then we can switch it to the partial stack of copper and just kind of do up the little bits and then keep loading full stacks until we're done. Okay, we'll keep those loaded. Let's do the non-coal. Good haul of that. 6, come on. What? Guess I can do. Guess I can load up all this. We don't have to break it. Wasn't the one. This is. Swap out for the 17. Okay, now remember, as much as I would love to just dump in ores here, I think we really need to cook more meat. Check for threats a little bit. I think we're far enough along in this day that they've all despawned or gone elsewhere. Oh, cows, how you doing? Let's check the old meat freezer here. Ooh. This is something we're going to make use of, though. We need to breed cows. It's not important that we're a little short here. We already have plenty at home, and we're topping off both our stack and the goodie box. So, got a lot, but we should breed and run cows at some point. Just to replenish that supply. But remember, Franny likes feathers, so we can finally make use of all those feathers we've been storing. Alright, let's get these cooking. Do we have any other raw beef? We do. Just from wherever that came from. So we'll cook full stacks. Let's put this loose lump coal in to do what we actually came up here to do, which is store up all this other stuff. Bunches of gold bars. Alright. The steak goes back in the goodie box. The hopefully last little bit of ore there can go in. Tools. Steaks. Good. Drop this off. Oh! How did that happen? Let's just do one. I think they're gonna be pretty quick to need to swapping. I don't know how I've left that little bit of gold. Didn't notice it when I loaded up the fresh ore. Uh, 26, 5, nothing. Let's do the rest of this. Getting closer. That's still got a while. This one's ready. I'll load those up for now. Iron, we might as well take over to the iron thing after we check the goodie box, because I don't know. That's full. Fine. Alright, now we can just set and break some coal. Alright, pick, get big and strong. right here. I know. Just trying to grind it out. Guessing most folks are skipping through even or just wrapped up once they found out the end of this episode was going to be the sorting and gathering and all that kind of stuff. Alright, how we doing? One more for there for sure. Boop. Boop. I was gonna be very surprised if we had no more stacks of that coal. Close to done. How are these guys? 13, 10. All close. Get done with this. They should be ready. Or at least we can block up our coal. And we've got one pick getting into that slow last section at least, so not bad. We still have 4 more. 2, nothing, nothing, so 3 of those 4 can come. Watch the pick here. Looks like we'll have not enough, and then that one's got a ways to go. So let's pull this. See how our steaks did. I guess we had filled up both of those, so let's put this away. The gold. Slimes. Now, what do we want to do with coal? We've got a pretty good supply here. But I think we want to really load up on torches too, or a few. Let's take these. Stop. Stop. Good bunch of sticks. That's not the way torches go. Alright. These I can load up in here. trade this for this. If I do, yeah, that's perfect. So let's do that block. Oh, perfect. Okay, that almost got our thingamajobber done. I don't know what happened there. We left our 2 boxes downstairs. It's kind of okay. Those 2 are topped off now. That is topped off, so we don't need to worry about it. How are we doing over here? Good on this one. It was ahead, and 2/3 on those. All right. Oh, I forgot to do the coals here. Oh, it fell. No. These are full, but not backed up. That's okay, because I want to set up coal. So I brought this one random piece, put it by the iron, and then boom. This was just cooked iron. Store it. Could convert all these into blocks as well. Probably should, but too worried about it. Those I think we'll just let cook. Oh, that did switch though. I say that, but still need apples. Ooh. Hang out here for the XP on these 3 that are closest. Other one will be a nice, pleasant surprise at some point. Oh, it's not even. Oh, we already did it. Never mind. Iron can go away over here. Leave those in case we need some around here. I don't expect that's going to be a deal, but never know. I haven't even thought about time here for an hour and 10. All right, we will wrap up the rest of this in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed another, I guess not riveting, but hey, help me get started for the morning. And we got good supplies. Franny got some string out of the deal. We fixed up our first of our picks. Have a little bit left to go on this one. We're gonna grab feathers, maybe feed cows. Go to the end, finish tuning up this pick, and then cycle all the way back over to trade out with Franny and maybe do some more exploring in mine or something. So thanks so much for hanging out. Oh, to cancel what? If not okay, then return end. Darn right. You guys rock. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, likes and comments are always appreciated. I love to hear you guys say hi and know that you're enjoying the content. Let me know what pieces and parts you are enjoying. We'll talk to you for the next one. Till then, take care. Bye now.